A reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 6. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animal and creeping things and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make room in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you are to make it. The length of the ark, 300 cubits, breadth, 50 cubits, and height, 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of water upon the earth to destroy all flesh in which is the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wives, your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds according to their kind, and of the animals according to their kind, of every creeping thing on the ground according to its kind. 2 of every sort shall come into you to keep them alive. Also, take with you every sort of food that is eaten and store it up. It shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded him. Thus ends the reading of God's holy word. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. Now, the Nephilim, there's a lot of theory on the Nephilim. We could let's take one moment here, because I'm wondering perfect, because this R.C. Sproul study Bible talks about the sons of God. Sons of God, these have been identified as Sithites, the traditional Christian interpretation as angels, the earliest Jewish interpretation, Job 1:6, and as royal tyrannical successors of Lamech, who gathered harems proposed by rabbis of the 2nd century AD. All 3 interpretations can be defended linguistically. The first interpretation best fits the immediate preceding contest, a contrast of the curse-laden line of Cain with the godly line of Seth. If, quote, sons of God denotes Seth's line, then daughters of man probably refers to Canaanite women. The intermarriage of the 2 lines easily explains why Noah is the sole righteous offspring of Seth after 9 generations. Luke's genealogy of Jesus proves a basis for understanding how Seth's lineage may be viewed as, quote, sons of God. The second view has ancient support, but seems to contradict Jesus' statement that angels do not marry. Interesting. Mark 12:25. We're going to that right after this. And does not explain why the focus is on mortals and the judgment on them. The third interpretation explains the phrase any they chose and matches the description of Lamech's actions in 4:19 through 24, but lacks much ancient support and demands that, quote, sons of God refer to people who are anything but godlike. Okay, that's an interesting take from the R.C. Sproul Study Bible. We're going to go to, let's see, Mark 12:25. Mark 12:25. Wow. I just opened up to Mark 13 immediately. Wow. That was that was fast. War Chief Valhalla goes. Odin was created to destroy giants. Zeus was to fight titans, and Hebrews were to save the animals of the world. Interesting. Don't get me wrong. The temptation for universalism is always there, but it's a false temptation. Because here's the thing: the God of Abraham did not need Odin or Zeus to do a single thing. He didn't need them to do the tiniest little action of any kind. It was unnecessary and kind of overly self-redundant. So while I understand the perspective here, I can't sign off on that because that's okay. That's not what I said. Okay, all right, then I'll leave that for the maybe next week or the week after when you come on, because like I understand what you're saying, but I don't think there's any biblical warrant for that. But let's go to Mark 12:25. It starts at 27, so 2 pages off. Sheesh. All right. And I'm going to read 24 through 26. So this is a reading from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 12, verses 24 through 26. Jesus said to them, this is not the reason you are wrong, because you know neither the scripture nor the power of God. For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. As for the dead being raised, have you not read in the book of Moses in the passage about the bush how God spoke to him saying, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He said, not God of the dead, but of the living. You are quite wrong. Okay. Interesting. The Nephilim here, War Chief Valhalla, this uh Bible note here in the R.C. Sproul Study Bible, when it talks about Nephilim, it says, see text note. These giant like mighty men fill the earth with violence. The Hebrew root meaning to fall and may suggest their fate. Valhalla, if you're within the sound of my voice, according to this, it sounds like the Nephilim were giant men in some regard. Now, definitely gives some credence to your theory. Now, I don't think the Philistines were human. I think they were giants. I'll look into that. I will definitely look into that. But the Philistines were giants. That's fascinating. I don't know if there's biblical warrant for that. I will definitely look into it though. Like if there's any scripture that actually backs that up, I will. Fascinating theory. Fascinating theory. Warchi, think about it. The timeline works. Very possible. Like I said, I can't right now on this show give you a definitive by Job 100%, but you have sparked thoughts within my mind. And again, War Chief, you always bring the best. And so I'm definitely going to investigate that as deeply as I can. Were the Philistines giants? Because there's a lot of different, takes on the Philistines, the Canaanites, basically all the early people that ain't around no more. Let's see, War Chief. The description of a Philistine of several cubits, and Goliath was the largest of his kind. Possible. Now I see where you're coming with. Hmm. Like I said, very, very possible, but I'm gonna have to find some biblical warrant for that. Okay. And so I'm definitely thank you for that. Um Cubits are 3 feet. He was bigger than how many? Um, I'm not sure. He was a big guy. Now funny thing is, there's a couple of different ways on how you can measure a cubit. That's something that's been disputed, and I'll never forget when there was a guy that was making a movie about Noah's Ark, and they're like, "Well, okay, so which measurement of cubit do we use?" The director goes, "It the biggest one." Really? This is Hollywood. Whatever's the biggest one, that's the measure of cubit we use for our movie. Now, I'm not going to sign off on it yet. I gotta do more research and connect it all together. But you, sir, you brilliant philosopher king, you. I really must say. I really must say. Well done. Well done. Um, thank you. Hey, anytime. Like, no, iron sharpens iron. Okay. When you come on here and you come with questions and it forces me to open this book and try to find what you're like, this is how we all get better. This is how we all get smarter. This is how we all learn the answer to the most important question of all: how to best and most properly worship the Lord. Okay. So, War Chief, take a bow, sir. Take a bow, sir. Now, I can't say quite yet you're 100% right, but it looks like your suspicions are pointing in a direction where there's something there. Okay, like I don't know how else to put it. It's kind of like detectives, like, and just like that, a whopper of a puzzle piece fell smack dab in my lap. I was too stupid to put it all together yet, but there it was.